Hey, good morning. It's Laura Roehrick from Project Street Feet. I wanted to tell you a little story. I may have included the story on one of my 154 strange postings on the YouTube channel, which I never look at, so I don't even know really what I've posted, which is kind of scary. But anyway, what this is the reason why I started my nonprofit. This is what motivated me. It was one conversation that I overheard that changed my life, and I want to share it to you because you'll figure out why afterwards. Anyway, and I'm not going to name the countries or the people because they're still alive and the countries are still there. But a long time ago, I traveled at my own expense, which was very expensive, halfway across the world to help teach a foot care course. And by the way, most of the traveling I've done has been at my own expense. It isn't like I'm paid to do all this stuff, but the opportunities were so great that I figure it was worth it for me. Anyway, so I went on this trip many years ago to a foreign country to help assist in a course that was being sponsored by a big nonprofit, and it all sounded wonderful. And I had offered to do this for a couple of years with this particular doctor who was holding the course. So I travel there, and things are not always what they are look like they're going to be. This course actually, in hindsight, was really not made for the students. It was really a photo op for the person putting on the course so they could get more grants. That's what I figured out afterwards, because it was so kind of deplorable, the whole situation. So what happened was, a doctor friend of mine at the course came up to the doctor who was presenting the course and asked him very politely if he could get a copy of the PowerPoint on the anatomy and physiology of the foot, because the other presenter that was there had a British accent, spoke very fast, and he couldn't understand him. And it was really sweet. And he said, can I do that? And by the way, at this course, there were no outlines, no handouts, nothing. There was just a little piece of paper and a pencil and somebody speaking very fast. There was 20 doctors and nurses. There was teams of 10 nurses and doctors from around this country who had came to learn about diabetic foot care. So my friend asked if he could have the PowerPoint, and the doctor who was putting on the course looked at him and he said, "No, that is not our policy." And right then and there, I just went, oh my gosh, how can this be happening? How can that not be your policy? If you're putting on a course to educate people in preventive diabetic foot care, it blew my mind. So what I decided after that was that I wanted to do everything that I could to share any information I have, with the end result hopefully being in preventing amputations or providing people with the information they needed. And that's, I had also brought a 100-pound suitcase full of equipment to donate to our students, including little sets for each one of them. And the doctor that I was supposedly helping kept them all for his own personal for-profit clinic. So they weren't distributed to the people. And not only that, there was one exercise where the doctor I was teaching with was teaching them how to make an insert using strips of newspaper and paste, and it was very fascinating. But instead of having, them work on each other and learning how to use it, this doctor made one for every 20 of the people. So they were sitting there, most of them, while he was going down this row on the roof of a hotel, and it was like 105 degrees. So the whole course was really sort of an interesting experience. Really, nobody who attended it got much from it other than a lot of anger. I was in the bus that took these people back to the airplane to get back to their different locations, and it was a group of very upset students who had taken time out to go to a course that was basically worthless. And if I had been able to give the equipment that I had, I wasn't even permitted to finish my entire presentation. I was kind of kicked out and said, "Okay, you're done. You can go wait." And anyway, so what I'm saying is that mentality is still out there. People still don't want to share. People are vying for position in this foot care field, and it's nothing, not nothing, but it's a lot of competitiveness, a lot of negativity, and a lot of kind of pissing matches of who's better and who's worse. And I'm talking about the whole social media, everything around foot care out there. So it's brought me to the decision to step back, which I've been doing anyway. I'm kind of going through a slow separation with foot care, at least in my own practice. I'm turning over a lot of my clients to my subcontractors, and I'm really stepping away, and I'll probably not be doing anything but Project Street Feed after the next year. So it was very easy for me. Recently, there was an episode on some social media thing. I won't go into the details, and I just went, oh my God, they're still thinking the same thing. So I am not going to participate in anybody but my own Facebook page. That way I have control of what is being posted. I know what's out there. If people have a problem, they can deal directly with me, and I don't have to go through other administrators. And, my time is so precious to me right now because I've got these grandchildren. My whole life is changing, and I'm transitioning into something else. But I just think it's really very sad that mentality is still out, that there are people just, instead of helping each other, they're competing against each other. And it's not what I want to, that's not how I want to spend my time.